Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. This is Lenor. I'm going to be reading your tea leaves today. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, let's see what is in store for Virgo. Now, I just want to go ahead and thank you so much for choosing to watch this reading. If you would be so kind as to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you really want to, leave a comment because it truly makes my day. I love hearing from you guys. Today I had so many comments and it really honestly has brought in so much joy to my day. Checking those and getting back to you all. Okay, now let's just kind of pull this out to see where we're at. This is pretty spread out. A pretty spread out bowl. There's not really any large formations here. Okay, so I want to go with this one. This is like the largest and most obvious, in my opinion. This here is a T, and we have it reaching from the physical up into this mental, conscious space, the emotional space, into the spiritual, metaphysical, and higher consciousness. Okay, so this is a concept, possibly. This might be a religious figure. This could be like a holy person, guru, or this could be somebody that is very important to you. A parent, somebody very fundamental to your life, or also something like a soulmate. Okay, somebody who is not just somebody you're dating, but somebody you are intertwined with, soul to soul. I do think that just based on the size and the reach of it, they are really on your mind a lot lately. Okay, this is somebody who you are thinking about constantly. I now see another T right here. So I am wondering, this is more in that physical, a little bit into the mental. So I am wondering if these are echoes of the same person, if they are manifest in the flesh, if it is somebody that you are involved with in your daily life or fairly often. Okay. I'm not sure. I want to look a little bit more for some clarity before we really get into it. Now, let's see. I'm seeing some really interesting little things here. Okay, so I want to just kind of get a good view of some of these. These pictures are really interesting when you're, now this one is really, it's close to this T. It's kind of between the two. Here's the first T we looked at, and then this is the other T here. Okay, so this is kind of in between. And hopefully you can see, it looks like a person on like a surfboard, okay? And they're surfing, and here, this is the water, the wave. And this is kind of on the cusp of that emotional, psychic, consciousness, things that what I like to think of this area as is kind of like where your internal dialogue is, the things that you've been focusing on, where your mind is taking you often. And then in this lower field here, this is more of the physical and the things that you interact with in base reality. This would be like work, family, some physical love, or love in the physical form. I don't just mean, sexuality or anything like that. I just mean it's somebody who is manifest as a physical, corporeal being, okay, and you interact with them, and that's what that's what I'm trying to get to. But okay, so we have this surfing person on the waves, okay, and this definitely makes me feel like you have caught just a flow lately, okay? Your mind is just, things are clicking into place. You're going from one thing to the next. It's not feeling overly chaotic. You are just kind of going with the current, okay, and really riding that wave. I just imagine a beautiful sunny day. You're enjoying yourself. Things are coming as they are. And if there are problems or not, your reaction is just to kind of go with it. Okay. And you really must have done so much work to get to that point, right? I think that, after the holidays, after the beginning of the winter, a lot of people have been on break from school. We've had a lot of, in the US anyhow. I'm not really super up on other weather in other places, which shame on me. But I try not to watch the news too much. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. But we've had a lot of weather occurrences in the United States in the last month, 2 months, okay? So it has been quite a mess. It has been stressful all over for a lot of people. And I think you are coming into a place where you are just kind of going with whatever is coming, and you're dealing with it. You're not getting all twisted up about it. And that has, I think, been pretty helpful for you. I mean, I feel like you're letting go of some tension. You are trying to enjoy the time, the time you have. That sounds terrible saying it that way, but it's true. We don't know how much time we have at any given time, right? So we must try to enjoy sometimes, right? At least a little bit. If not, just a sense of contentment, right? So I think you're really in that kind of state of mind right now. Okay, just really go in with that. Now, okay, let's see. What else do we have here? And now this one to me is interesting. I immediately thought of the pufferfish. Okay, and this is kind of the deflated pufferfish, but it kind of really has the longer nose and like the rounder body and the little fin. And so for me, the symbol of the pufferfish is that, well, and this is terrible, but it's in relation to how we eat, how we consume them. And so this is a delicacy, right? This is something that you eat when it's prepared by somebody who is is masterful at I think it's called sushimi. A chef that can fillet these fish in such a way. And I believe that you eat the cheeks of the pufferfish. And if it's prepared and there's any kind of mistake or, a miscut or any of that, it's very poisonous. Okay, so this is something that you have to kind of take a leap of faith to consume. And I feel like where this formation is in this cup is definitely about you who I'm reading for, right? Okay, so I feel like You are such a rare and just a delicacy. Somebody who is very, just very has like a magnetic enchanting quality. Somebody that is lovely, intelligent, clever, all of these beautiful things, very capable. And I am gonna try to tiptoe around this. 'Cause, I'm gonna hurt my own feel. Full disclosure, I am a solar Virgo. So, the thing about Virgos or people that have heavy Virgo placement is that we know what we want. Okay, we know what we want, and we're gonna get it, right? And I think sometimes we kind of are the type of people that are fairly flexible. Okay, and not super judgmental people, right? But very we're very, very highly aware of what's going on. We're always watching the situation, taking the temperature of the room, really looking at all of the variables. And especially within our relationships with others, if you get in with a Virgo, right, you're in. It's hard to get very, very, very close to somebody that has these placements, but once you do, it's kind of like this lifelong ride or die type thing, okay? But people who don't enter that kind of inner chamber, it can be easy for somebody else to say something wrong, do something wrong. They might not even realize it, okay? And I'm just like, I'm trying to say this in a way that isn't offensive, but I feel like, and just listen to me, because I am come from a very Virgo heavy family on my father's side. Okay, so I had a Virgo father. My sister's a Virgo. Okay, and I have some other people in my life who are Virgos that I'm close with. So, and I am also a Virgo. Okay. So, I don't say these things lightly, but, if you say something, do something, and we perceive it as like a slight or disrespectful, it's almost impossible to come back all the way from that, okay, with us. And so I look at this pufferfish symbol, and to me it means there's this very narrow pathway sometimes with you. You can be the most loving, caring, just person of service. They're first person to show up, last person to leave. You bring the extra things to the party somebody else is hosting. You help clean up. You think of all the details. You really are. You lend a hand. Okay, even if nobody asks you to, you just are a thoughtful person. But sometimes when you feel that somebody has not returned that energy to you, it seems like you can, and I'm not saying you're poison or toxic. That's not what I mean. But I think you can go sour on somebody very quickly, and you're just off of them. They're done. You just are, life is too short. There's billions of people in the world, and we can always meet somebody new to hang out with or get to know or whatever. And I think this is kind of sometimes the ethos of Virgos, right? So I say this in the nicest way. You just have to be careful, because living this way, living in those extremes, and again, and I keep reminding you, I am also a Virgo. I also, have had to deal with this kind of black and white thinking. And I've dealt with it a lot in therapy because I easily overvalue or undervalue people. And I don't know that that is necessarily a Virgo thing. That's a Lenor thing. But I think that the person that I'm reading for, I think that you also sometimes kind of dwell in those, highs and lows, black and whites with people. Okay. And I think that what really this comes around to is it's important to work on tempering those kinds of feelings. I think giving people a little bit more of a chance, not being so hot and cold, but also, not being so quick to be best friends with somebody immediately, or, or tossing them to the curb as soon as they do something that you don't agree with or whatever. But tempering it, taking time to get to know people, letting less people into your private life. That's a big one, because when you do that, you're going to only bring people of quality and also have the energy to be of quality to other people as well. Okay. And also when we cycle through people so quickly, or, it just, there's like all these like kind of dramatic feelings going on with the people who are our friends, our family, and whatever, it can become very alienated. And sometimes, and this is what I tell myself often, is that I'm so good at hurting my own feelings. Okay. I can have whole freaking epics go on in my head where these whole dramatic ordeals happen within friendships with family members. They never even know. If you know what I mean? Like this is something that I have gone through in my own head, and like, played out the whole thing, gone through it, mourned it, and, gotten myself back together, healed from it. And they never even knew it was going on. So we, have a tendency to, alienate ourselves, hurt our own feelings, find reasons to have hurt feelings. Okay. And I think, I see this symbol, and I think that it may be something to think about for you, maybe something to work on in the future. Okay. If these kinds of things pop up, right? And just slow it down. That's my big advice. Slow it down. And don't be so quick with it. Quick to get in those feelings, deep in the feelings. Okay. And now watch I say that, and I'm gonna go and have like some meltdown or something. Which, yeah, I cried last night, so I don't even remember what it was about, honestly. Okay, so we have this goose. It looks like a goose. And then we have another one that looks like a goose too. And this one has its little leg hanging out. This one looks like it's honking though. Okay. So this one looks like it is upset. And this, I have had a lot of geese the last couple of days. And it's funny because I had one that was flying, which usually for me means, a state of like a transitory state, a migration, that kind of thing. This one though looks like it's swimming and it's honking. It is in a tizzy. Okay, this one is not happy. So I think that this is, when we have this, it makes me think of there's kind of an aggressive reaction happening, but I think it's because you are in a state of wanting to be protective. Okay, and when I think of geese, I always think of like a mother goose. Obviously, we know that relation. But I think of like the geese with their little fuzzy babies, and they're, taking care of them all in a line. Just, if you get anywhere near them, they're going to honk and attack you. Okay, so I feel like And I'm just going to kind of move my leg here. I feel like something's going on where you are just feeling like you have to protect maybe yourself, maybe somebody else around you. Which is interesting because I really feel like you have this like really good flow going on, and we talked about that over here with the surfing. But I also feel like this one is more attached to this fish we've been talking about. And now I'm looking at this fish, and I'm looking at it this other way. It looks like a crab. Okay, so if you watch any of my other Virgos and Cancer videos, these two signs, for my own personal reasons, but also for whatever reason, in a lot of my own tarot readings, my personal ones, and in my cup readings, these two are so entwined with each other. Okay, so we have this Cancer, and this is becoming a little more clear to me. Why? And I was wondering, why am I getting into this thing about this fish? Now, about the blowfish and, all the things I said about that. But now I'm seeing this Cancer, and this Cancer energy, this water person. And now when I look at it from this side, this is the fish is related to you. The Cancer is not related to you. The Cancer is somebody else. This is somebody who, you have a powerful tie to, and they know how to press your buttons. They set you off. Okay, this is your person that just in some way has you emotionally wrapped around their little finger. Okay, and I think that this could be somebody you're romantically involved with, or an ex that you, somebody from your previous life, or something. But this is a person. It doesn't have to be a Cancer, but it could be a water sign or somebody who has a lot of watery qualities. Okay, and because you are very outwardly, you share your emotions, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're not gonna wait to go over some, you don't, and maybe sometimes we should, but you're not going to wait forever to figure out exactly how to say something. You say how you feel, and that's how you process things, and that's how you get through your emotions. You aren't going to carry that stuff around forever, right? This Cancer is way more stoic, way more. When they get into their emotions, they retreat, they go into themselves, they, are way more, they turn their negative feelings in on themselves quite often. And they get to this like posture of being just out of your reach. They get themselves, and I think of like a little crab crawling into a little crevice or something and hiding. Okay. And that drives you nuts. Okay. I can just see this honking and emotions and this, flurry of just anxiety and want and, wanting to get this stuff out, and then you're able to connect again and move on from it. Whereas they're like, I want to retreat. I need to collect myself. I need to figure my feelings out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to, yell and scream and, have these big overtures and, all that. And it just, I think that this has caused conflict for you too. And maybe why you're not together. Okay. Or if you are together, it's kind of a cycle within your relationship. Okay. But I think definitely, and now I'm looking at this one, and it's like way more serene. Okay. And the little legs kicking, and I just imagine like it kicking itself or kicking the water and just, propelling itself forward. Okay. So I think that, it's kind of this like this little one and the screaming one, and then this little serene one. It's just kind of the black and white, the balancing things. I think it goes from this to the serene thing very quickly for you. Okay, very mercurial, ruled by Mercury. Okay, and this Cancer person or water person gets right in the mix, right in the middle, and they are definitely a point of of kind of being part of those swift emotions. Okay. And so, I don't I don't have a lot of answers for besides something. If you value this relationship, if this is somebody from the past and they're in your mind often, or you return back to them. This is a relationship that you break up, you get back together, you break up, whatever. I feel like this is something that is coming up for you because it's there's a blockage, and there's something that needs to be worked on. And definitely this concept of tempering self, working on how you treat yourself, how you treat other people, how you react to things. Okay. And we talked about this up here with the surfing. It seems like you are really working on how you are reacting to the things the world is giving you, the universe, your ordeals, the troubles. Now, I don't think it's happening in this relationship as much as it needs to. So I think that this is a really important place to be thinking about doing some of that self-work. I, for one, I am a huge supporter of any kind of therapy, counseling, groups, like a group support kind of thing, support group or whatever. Couples counseling, that kind of thing. I think all those are great outlets, tools. Use them if you can, if you're privileged enough to have access to that. And also, I should say, I think it's really important to work on yourself and look for where the root of these, kind of messy feelings are. Also, why do you, what is it within the makeup of a relationship that would cause you to feel these kinds of big feelings? Okay. And, I don't mean exactly necessarily specifically that relationship that you're in or have been in, but maybe more like the roots of how you experienced relationships growing up. Okay. The foundational, archetypes of relationships, the foundational examples of relationships that you experienced as a child. Okay, and we can all think of our parents, our grandparents, aunts, uncles, older family cousins, or, whoever, teachers, neighbors, these people who we even knew passively, when we saw them interacting within their relationships, those were really fundamental examples of how people communicate with each other, how people treat each other, how people talk to each other, what kinds of behaviors are normal within relationships. How do people seem to honor one another? Okay. And so if we were exposed to relationships that were unhealthy, which of course we all have experienced that, and we all did as children. But if they were those fundamental relationships, that's where we really need to work on trying to understand what are we able to kind of reconfigure and heal and, take out some of those blockages that have been put in place that still are, disrupting how we have relationships as adults. Okay. And that's really where I think the focus needs to be for doing this kind of work. Now, of course, we all can work on our relationships in the now. That's important too. We have to upkeep that. We have to be very, a lot of self-responsibility. We need to take responsibility for how we act, how we treat others. But we also have to be safe. And we have to be conscious of who we choose to be with and believe people when they show you how they are going to treat you. Okay. And just my little 2 cents, we have to stop trying to save people or fix people or change people. Okay. We have too much work to do on ourselves, let alone try to be with somebody who makes us miserable or, whatever. We can't fix people. That's not our job. We cannot change people. Why would you be with somebody you want to change? Okay. And, if somebody does not honor us, believe them when they are saying, they are saying through their actions that they do not value you. Okay. And I know that's heartbreaking. I know it. I understand it. I've been there. I totally have been there. Okay. So I empathize, but we have to have some responsibility for ourselves. Okay. And so if we can get out of those situations, when we start to become aware of that kind of stuff, that's important to do too. Okay. But that root work is so important. Looking at how the dynamics of those early relationships, okay? And really thinking about that. And, I think it's so important to think about if you were exposed to things like that, like that child is still alive in you, the child that you were. So you want to protect that child, for help heal that child. Ask for forgiveness. Tell them you're sorry that they had to be around that kind of thing, and I'm not like a medicine person, a medicine woman, or, somebody that does these kinds of early healing processes. I'm working on my own. So I'm just speaking from, my own thinking, my own intuition. But, it's so important because we can't change anything without changing those really like deep things, those deep hurts, those deep conditioned things that make up our, experience of the world, our worldview. Okay. And if you watch my videos, I love to go on these little tangents. So, moral of the story, this Cancer person, this water person, this crab person, this crabby person in your life, you love them, you do, okay? And, they're important. And also, you're important. So, let's all work on how we treat each other, okay? And then let's see what else. I saw this little arrow here and I'm trying to figure out where are you pointing to? And then I followed it all the way up this hill and look at that. There's a beautiful little butterfly right up there, right in this spiritual realm. Okay. And this to me is just a clear indicator that you are constantly going through a state of metamorphosis. You've been working on yourself. You will always be working on yourself. You are married to that path of self-healing, breaking those generational cycles. The things that do not serve us will not serve our children. Okay. You are the abolisher of, these long held hurts, pains, the things that are encoded in our DNA. And through this self-work, through this divine revelation, this raising of consciousness, activation of all of the different spheres of self, you are this butterfly, and you in your own way are the savior of your family and of your people, okay? And there's nothing more beautiful than that, okay? I hope to always be able to bring that message to everybody I come in contact with. I hope that's what everybody is doing. And, you know, the truth is some people just aren't there yet. But the person that I am reading for right now, this is where you're at, okay? And shout out to my sister. I hope she's watching this, because that piece definitely is for her, okay? She is somebody in my family that has worked very hard to not only take care of us, you know, when my parents could not, but she has raised beautiful children. She has a beautiful grandchild, and she is every single day raising the consciousness of our family collectively. Okay, so I love her, and I'm gonna get all teary-eyed saying that, but it's true. So sis, you better be watching. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at, and let me see this right here. This fits in to the last thing I was saying. This is the Nine of Wands. This is from the Thoth deck, and this card is titled Strength, okay? So this is it. This is this is all of the strands of the work coming together, bonding, being woven into this beautiful, unbreakable kind of net. Okay, this is the balance of the solar, the lunar, and everything in between. That spectrum is just beautiful and shining. Okay, and with this strength, you can create anything. You can break down anything and take those pieces and create something else. Okay, it's just that beautiful build and destroy forever and ever and ever, right? And so I think that this just really speaks to this idea that, yeah, you haven't perfected it yet, okay? There are still things within yourself that need to be worked on, but you have that vision, you have the drive, you have the ability, you have the intelligence, the emotional intelligence, the wherewithal, the stamina, all of those things that need to come together to help create that strength to keep going forward, okay? To do the things that you intend to do the most holy work there is, and that is, you know, the self-realization, the transmuting of all of these subtle energies, okay? And becoming more and more of that divine consciousness, that cosmic consciousness, okay? And let's see what we have here. Oh, and I don't want to mess up this name. Oh, this is very dry. Okay, so I'm not going to shake this. But this really looks like, and I think the name is Ta. If I'm wrong, I don't know what the name is exactly. It is a fertility symbol, a deity, a god. One of the, I believe, primordial gods in the Egyptian systems. This is a male god with like the large phallic symbol. Okay, and we're looking at that right here. So I think that in this case, this is not necessarily a physical fertility symbol, you know, baby making and all of that. This is a symbol of the fertility of consciousness. This is very tied into this concept of strength, being virile, having that abundance of the life force flowing through you. Okay, and I think this is really about that drive that you have to do all of the work to uh, heighten your consciousness, but also to resolve those issues that are going on within yourself, within your psyche, within your personality, within your relationships, and how you experience and react and deal with life and base reality, shared reality. Okay. And I think that it's just really this next few months are going to be very important for you. I think you really are going through a big self evolution. I think that if you can direct those energies that are coming into you and that are flowing through you, if you can direct them into this work and keep yourself focused, I think that really you just will be able to accomplish anything that you want to. I think also, you know, your relationships, the dynamics are really going to become so much more what's the word, refined, just whole, almost, you know, like pregnant with well, maybe child, I don't know, but you know, just with the possibilities, the endless possibilities, the you know, rising into that level of agape. Okay, just something cosmic, celestial, and so beautiful and divine. Okay, a really deep union. And that doesn't always, that's not just romantic. I mean, this is also with the family love, with the love of friends and acquaintances, how you treat other people, how you're treating yourself, you know, all of it from the top to the bottom. Okay. But, you know, it really is nice when we start getting to that place with the people who are really the closest to us, our romantic partners, our family, our children, our parents, whatever, all of those people. Okay. And then I really think that, you know, those next few months, it's going to be a big deal for you to be working on that stuff. Again, as I always mention, and I do mention therapy a lot. And I did earlier in this reading. But, you know, if you have access to that, it might be a good time to do that. If not, you know, there are different kinds of support groups, especially on the internet. Finding a group of like-minded people who are focusing on the same kinds of work that you're doing, even if you are just kind of lingering and, you know, kind of watching what's going on. I know I do that on Reddit, especially like on some of the parenting groups and stuff like that. I just like to read what people have to say. Sometimes I'll put my 2 cents in there, but, you know, not all the time. So I think just having that kind of you know, surrounding yourself in the energy of other people kind of doing the same things, sometimes that can be really helpful. Okay. And so I think that's really what that's what we're looking at today. Okay, Virgo. And sometimes I look at how long I've been talking. I'm like, geez, I didn't know I could ever talk that long. Usually not really such a very talkative person, but yeah, I really enjoy doing these readings so much, and I'm really honored that people actually watch them. I love hearing the feedback. If you watch this and it resonated with you, any part of it, please consider liking the video. It really helps me to get into the algorithm and it reaches more people. And I'm hoping sometime in the near future I'm able to do 2 videos a day, so then we can do like every sign at least once a week. But I'm gonna have to do some time management for that to happen. But it's in my thinking, and I'm thinking like once I hit like 5,000 followers or something like that, maybe I'll really like make I'm really gonna have to get to doing more content there. Okay. So also, if you would subscribe to the channel, that would be great. You can hit the little bell thing, and that will give you notifications when new videos come out. If you'd leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. I love Love it. I love to wake up and there's like some comments there. People telling me about their life, about how the video resonated, different aspects of the reading and so on. I really like having that kind of connection. The energy has been so wonderful, and it really just kind of is like the cherry on top of doing these readings for me. Other than that, if you're interested in finding me on Facebook, I have a page there. It's Ula Tea Leaf Readings. And if you are interested in a private reading, you can go down into the description of the video. There are instructions about how to book a video or a private reading, and then we can work that out. Okay. Thank you so much, Virgo. I look forward to doing your next reading. In the meantime, if you want to see more readings, go ahead and look at your other placements, okay? So for me, it's like I'm a Aquarius moon and Capricorn rising. So I would go and watch the Aquarius and the Capricorn and take what pieces of that work for you, what resonates. And I like to just write down like the little highlights, and then I kind of read it all together, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is like a fuller picture of what's going on with me. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a most wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this. We'll see you soon.